Hey everybody, Brandon with Bearded CB82. So today we're going to be doing an update of a good chunk of the Capri tools that I've been using from just the past several weeks, since August, all the way on up to back from the past couple years, and giving you guys kind of an update and overview of a number of these things because, hey, past several months I've been beating the crap out of a number of their tools and they're still holding up pretty much. So we're gonna go over and get you guys turned around on the other bench here and take a closer look. Okay, so first up we're gonna be talking about their heavy duty 3/4 inch deep well impact sets. I've had this set, year and a half or so, maybe 2 years now, along with their extensions. Now I have used these, I've used the 1 5/16 the most, taken off wheel nuts, so that thing's seen a little bit of its fair share, been off and on, and then of course with the extension as well, and I do use this extension in doing wheel seals and wherever I need to get the little bit of extra length. Not as much on the impact side, but usually just go with direct drive. The set goes from 1 to 1.5 on the sockets, and then you have this guy all the way up to 12 inches or so, or 11 inches, whatever that one is. 3-piece set, adequate set, very good. So far been impressed with both. I probably could use this one a little bit more, but you know, we use it when we need to or when I'm able to. Sometimes things kind of run hot and got to get the job done fast. We use the 1 inch now, but overall I think the fact that you get from 1 inch to 1.5 without skipping any sizes by 1/16 of an inch, $100, I think you're definitely going to get your money's worth out of these guys for the full set. It's a 8-9 piece set, something like that. Overall I feel pretty good about it. You know, haven't been able to break this one yet, so we're doing pretty fair on that. Then on their extensions as well, I forget what these guys run, but for a 3/4 inch heavy duty chromoly, both of these are chromoly, I think you're gonna hit it fairly decent for the price range, especially comparing to certain other ones. Now you have your chrome vanadium ones, which are much thicker walled, because the chrome vanadium ones are a much harder material, you know, like your standard chrome sockets, in order to make them basically impact grade. They have to really definitely add a lot more meat to these things. And not only that, but chrome vanadium is a lot harder on the anvil on your tool. This one, I've used it a few times for other things, just in combination with the ratchet. Haven't used it in combination with an impact, just because I didn't need to. One of those deals. And then on to the next. Alright, so the swivel impact sockets. I went ahead, 13, 15, and 18 are the ones that I use most. Well, I do use this one quite a bit as well. That one probably the hardest. But the full set goes from 8mm, that guy right there, up to 9mm without skipping any sizes. It's quite actually the complete set, which is the one nice thing about it. Now some people don't mind the sleeves, some people do mind the sleeves. A number of reasons. Like this 18, a couple weeks back I had a bracket fall down on it while I was using it to unhook on working in the back of the engine housing on a Freightliner, and it skeeved the living crap out of it. Not the fault of the socket in this matter, not the fault of the tool I was using, just bracket fell, skeeved the crap out of it, is what it is. Still works. No issues with it other than it's, you know, not as pretty as the 19. I've only used the 19 a couple of times, but definitely the 18 used the crap out of it. Still works good. Cost wise, I think the set from 8 to 19mm, you know, full on set, ran $100 or something like that. They did provide this set from 8 to 19 for me, and then I did buy the 15/16 because it's a socket that I did want to compare it to that I do use quite often. Where this has come in handy is because it is shallower both at the pivot and in the head. This comes in handy for when I have to swing a power divider on a tractor. You know, the whole main gear housing. Well, this is what I use for taking those bolts off, because you get to the last few around the, I'll see if I have a picture of it or insert a video or something around here. You're actually able to get in closer, whereas this one gets pinched when removing those bolts. You still have to take off the top two bolts using a wrench method. Those of you guys who have done it on a semi like these guys, where you actually got the main power divider, your differential, you pull that whole differential apart, or pull it out when you go to replace it. Know what I'm talking about there. Cons on these, there again, some people don't like sleeves. Q-air compressor. Depth. Sometimes it plays a good part and sometimes it doesn't. The snap-on, for instance, does go deeper in the throat. I use this one quite a bit for shocks, or not shocks, but cab mount brackets, the bolts on those. I use this one quite a bit for that. That's where it's handy. Also, girth, there again, the snap-on ones are thinner, as we will take in comparison the 18 from Snap-on and put it up next to this guy. You can see that the snap-on there again is thinner in girth. That might make a difference for access. That's going to be kind of a as you come across things. Is it a snap-on set? No. Is it darn good? Yeah. I mean, beat the crap out of them. Can't break them yet. Been using them for several good months now. I think if you were to get the money as far as the completeness of the set, 8 to 19, you're going to get a pretty good set. And I think the standard goes from like 5/16 or something like that up to 3/4. And then they do have the larger versions. I bought this one individually. I think it was like around $15 or so for the 15/16. That one's treated me quite well for when I do need it. It's just going to be personal preference. Are you going to have to worry about extra girth or not? Are you going to have to worry about extra depth or not? That's where you get in when you get into the larger sizes. You're going to have to kind of shop around, do some comparisons, everything else. Okay, on to there again. Yes. Count how many times I say there again in this video. There may not be a prize for you, but you can make fun of me either way. Now, for these guys, the Capri flex head ratchets. I have not had to tighten these up in the past few weeks, and that goes for all three sets. Now, I did take them apart and clean them up, the break-in smooge, and re-lube the crap out of them just to... because they do tend to be a little bit of a thirsty ratchet. But after I got these guys re-lubed the other day, they've been feeling awesome. And then the 3/8, the unkillable 3/8, still rocking the same anvil on this guy. It's still functioning flawlessly. So we're going to have to revisit this 3/8 guy and try to see there again what it's going to take for that. Because, yeah, can't kill it yet. Unkillable ratchet. How about that for you? Price-wise, well, we've already said that you can get one 3/8 flex head ratchet off the Snap-on truck for the cost of all four of these ratchets combined. I would not fault somebody for, especially for home or definitely starting off, you wanted to go with these, uh, you would definitely not be left unimpressed. I know, it's Client Graphics. He went ahead and he did a will it break on this one, and it kind of pretty much outperformed just about everybody else out there impressively. Aside from the handle, but when you put a 2-foot breaker bar on a 1/4 inch ratchet, something's gonna break either way. But yeah, definitely impressive. Good ratchets, still holding up phenomenally. I still use the regular 1/2 inch that I bent daily. The 1/4 inch, well, I've been using the crap out of this guy mostly. Feels good. Just break in on this is just a little bit longer than I would have preferred, but just part of the deal. Alright, so Capri 4-piece impact adapter set. I have used these off and on, some forcibly. Yes, this was one that I did have to warranty. This is a kit that I did buy because at the time it was like $8 for the 4-piece adapter set, and I figured why not? Might as well use the crap out of it. I'm going to go ahead throw in some insert footage in here of using this one with my 1/2 inch air impacts, both of them. Well, this one in particular. Got several good months out of this one before it finally broke. There again, it was 2 days after they received, as I filled out the warranty paperwork on a Friday night. By, what was it, Tuesday, this was already in my mailbox. Tuesday or Wednesday, so as soon as they got a hold of the email Monday, they shipped another one out to me after I gave them my order information on these guys. I've used this on my 3/8 cordless, and it's been holding up fairly well. My 1/4 inch cordless, just to adapt out, give them a shot, and everything else. That one, no issues with that one. There again, 3/8 to 1/2. Obviously, no issues with this guy. Used it on the impact, used it on torque wrench, blah, having a fun time. And these ones, yeah, I've used the crap out of this one in particular, especially in conjunction with, hold on, yes, in conjunction with this OTC T55 Plus, because they didn't have one in 1/2 inch drive, they only had one in 3/8 inch drive. And as you can see, that thing took quite a beating. But then again, so did this. So yes, I got probably 5 or 6 fan clutch rebuilds out of this guy right here before this guy bit the dust. And you think about how much time and effort it takes to rebuild a fan drive that's been on a tractor for the better part of 1,000,000 miles. It proved itself to me, and they proved their warranty yet again to me by that. I think these run probably around $10 nowadays for the set. Maybe 11, I'd have to double check, but yeah, I've had this for a 1.5 or 2 years now as well. It was worth every penny to me, especially when I bought it at $8. So on to the next. Alright, next up, the Capri light bar. Everybody's seen these, a number of other people have them, and I do really like it. The one thing that you do have to be careful of is when you go to shut it off, if it's not shut off all the way, and you might be able to just barely see it there where the lights are on. Sometimes you'll turn it down and not turn it off all the way, and that can drain the battery down on it a little bit over the weekend. Do be careful when hitting that dial to make sure you get the click all the way off, and it is pretty positive, and you can feel it when you go to press it. This thing's been phenomenal, brighter than hell, large, good area coverage. Not having a flex point in here takes away a weak point. In addition to that, however, it makes it one long piece with the pivot in the back. The magnet's still stronger than heck. UV light functions phenomenally. I mean, overall, very good light, still holding up. She's had her share of drops. Magnet's still on there. Got some crud around it. Magnet is handy. I did actually have to use it to pick up the bolt on the backside of the doghouse of the engine when I was on top. So definitely works well enough. Just to give you an idea. So 15, 16, or 18 millimeter snap-on socket. So it'll hold that. And not a light socket by any means. But definitely works good. I can use this on about the mid-range, if I choose the right setting. On an overhead, actually I can get a few overheads done a day, just about on the halfway mark. Full mark, I'll probably get a couple hours worth of use out of it. I'm picking up stuff on the magnet here. I think for the cost in comparison to others like my snap-on ones, cost comparison, you're gonna get a pretty decent light. It hasn't broken on me yet. Probably should clean it up a little bit, but oh well. It gets used for a living. That doesn't look too good. There we go. Anyways, good light. Can I recommend? Yes. Hasn't busted on me. No charging issues. Thus far, yeah, just gotta watch out. Make sure you turn it off all the way. That's more of a user error than an issue with this. Well, and then there's one last kit. Not really going to go into detail on that, but it's the master bit set. Still use the crap out of it. Yes, I do use impacts, especially on the 14 millimeter and the T55 in there, because it's a nice long T55. After I break it free with this one, I drive it home with the long one. Oops. And so yeah, 14 millimeter, this one gets the crap beat out of it. Money wise, you could spend $350 to $400 on the Blue Point version of this. This is an 88 piece set. Blue Point one's an 87 piece set. If I'm gonna have to tell you to get a set and you want a full set, I'm gonna say stay off the tool truck, just because I beat the crap out of it with a 1/2 inch snap-on impact, and I think I've only gotten like 1 or 2 to bust, and that was a couple of the Torx bits, which they warrantied out same way as they did with this guy. Heck, can't beat it. But so that's just a short version on that. Now, in closing, I don't think there's thus far really anything bad about the stuff that I've tried. Q pump, other than if you got an issue with the girth and the sleeve thing on these, then you know that's just gonna be a needs deal. But everything I've tried, I've beaten the crap out of everything. Tried to break ratchets that didn't want to break. what more do you want? You know, somebody's probably going to mention, oh, I shouldn't beat the shit out of tools. Well, I work on semi-trucks, dude. You know, I don't do part-time out of my garage. I know some people do. And if you did do part-time out of your garage, there's not a thing that I've tried of theirs that would not be phenomenal. You know, big equipment, you know, takes a lot of abuse to tools. And that's why they do have a very nice and easy warranty process. And no, they do not pay me to say that. Seriously, they don't. I mean, yeah, they provided me tools to review, and I bought my own tools from them. And what else can I say? Yes, somebody's probably going to call me a shill and all the other crap down below. And don't worry, trolls, I'll get to y'all later. But till then, remember, shop safety is just as important as firearm safety. You screw something up, somebody could die. And any questions on the Capri tools or the warranty process or anything like that, just put them down below. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. There's usually, I try to get to answering all the video comments, as many as I can, on like a Saturday afternoon, sometimes a Sunday, depending on what I got going on. And if I haven't gotten back to you on a question that you have, email me. It's in the About page, and I'll post it down below. Until next time, we'll catch y'all later. Have a good weekend.